Hello YouTube! We're on the Real Programming channel. I am its host. My name is Andrei. I greet you. Welcome on my channel. This is our free lesson. It's about HTML and JavaScript. We will talk about how HTML5 really works with JavaScript. Okay, let's go. So, we said HTML5 is made up of a family technologies, but what does it mean? Well, you already know there is the HTML markup itself, which has been expanded to include some new elements. There are also lots of additions to CSS with CSS3 that give you even more power to style your pages. And then there is the turbocharger JavaScript and a whole new set of JavaScript APIs that are available to you. You'll find a nice WebView grid to the new HTML5 markup CSS3 properties in the appendix. Okay, first the browser. So let's take a look behind the scenes and see how this all fits together. First, the browser loads a document which includes markup written in HTML and style written in CSS. Second, as the browser loads the page, it also creates an internal model of your document that contains all the elements of your HTML markup. This is where it gets interesting. For each element in your HTML, the browser creates an object that represents it and places in it a tree-like structure with all the other elements. We call this is the document object model, or the DOM for short. You'll be seeing a lot more of the DOM in this lesson because it plays a vital role in how we add behavior to pages with JavaScript. We'll get to that shortly in chapter 2. With HTML5, the markup has some improvements, as you've seen with the text in the head element, and there are some additional elements you can use. We'll see a few in this book. The page style, if it has any, comes from CSS3, which has been expanded from CSS2 to include many common idioms that are there in the use across the web, like drop, shadows, and rounded corners borders. And free then. This, while the browser is loading your page, it's also loading your JavaScript code, which typically begins executing just after the page loads. Using JavaScript, you can interact with your page by manipulating the DOM, react to user or browser-generated events, or make use of all the new APIs. And JavaScript interacts with your page through the DOM. Okay, and for the APIs give you access to audio, video, 2D drawing with the canvas, local storage, and bunch of other great technologies needed to build apps. And remember, to make use of all these APIs we need JavaScript. APIs, otherwise known as application programming interface, expose a set of objects and methods and properties that we can use to access all the functionality of these technologies. We'll be covering many of these APIs in this lesson. Meet the JavaScript's APIs. And exercise, who does what? We already talked about the family of technologies, so much we feel like they're family, but then again we really haven't gotten to know them yet, so isn't it about time? You'll find most of the family below, so go ahead, mingle, see if you can figure out who is who. We will gone ahead and figured one out for you. And don't worry, we know this is your first time meeting the HTML5 family members. So the answers are at the end of this chapter in the next lessons. Next exercise, your mission. Should you choose to accept it is to do some reconnaissance on the HTML browsers. Be sure you heard some browsers are ready for HTML5 and some aren't. We need for you to get in close because the truth is out there. Top secret, your first mission browsers reconnaissance. Okay. Okay, go out and determine Censura. Censura is the current level of support for each browser below, and go here, find some resources and the keep of the such things. HTTP, 3W Wiki, Smart HTML5 browser support, HTML, assume the latest version of the browsers, each browser feature, put a check mark if it is supported, and then give the browsers your own subjective score of how much it supports HTML5. Upon your return, report back for your next achievement. iOS and Android devices among others. Okay, do you ready for answers? Okay, let's go. This is our solution. We cheated on our answers, filled them in for 2015. Yours should reflect the time you're reading the book, but we thought you'd like to look into the future. Even though it will be a while before the standard gets signed, scaled and delivered, you'll be using that fully support HTML5 long before them. In fact, on the modern browsers, many features are already supported across the board. That's why it's a great idea to get started with using HTML5 now. Plus, if you start now, you'll be able to impress your friends and coworkers with all cutting-edge knowledge and get that reason sooner. Okay, wait a sec. If you start using HTML5 now, aren't all those users of old browsers going to be alienated? Or I'm going to have to write two versions of my page, or one for browsers that support HTML5 and one for the old browsers? Hold on, take a deep breath. And first of all, HTML5 is subset of HTML, and your goal should be to write only a one HTML page. You write in that the feature is supported by any one. Browsers may differ depending on how current the browser is and how aggressive your users are in upgrading. So we need to keep in mind that some of the newer features of HTML5 might not be supported, which leads back to your question of how to handle that. Now, one of the design principles behind HTML5 it is allow your pages to degrade gracefully. That means if your user's browsers doesn't provide a new feature, then you should provide a meaningful alternative. In this book, we are going to show you how to write your page to do that. But the good news is that all browsers are moving towards the HTML5 standard and related technologies, even the mobile browsers. And so our time graceful degradation will be more the expectation than the rule, although you'll always want to do what you can to give your users a meaningful experience no matter what browser they are on. Yes, there are no dumb questions. And what can you do with JavaScript? We will talk about this in the next lesson, and you will find all of the code and materials of this lesson under this video in the description link to Google Drive. And this is our third free lesson about JavaScript HTML is over. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Please put likes, share with friends and comments. Remember, please, this, and for example, meditate, do exercise, read more books on the topics, preferably in the evening, do exercise, and eat fruit, and eat bananas, eat apple, and drink more water for the brain. That's all. Bye.